Okay, I think we can fight all these guys down here. I'm not exactly sure if you can fight the death machine outside of the elevator or not. Alright, we finally have a new Shinra guard. These guys are called Submarine Crew. And for this enemy, I thought it would be fun to actually show you the code so you can see where the mistake is. So here is the Submarine Crew code. And the idea behind this code was that the submarine crew would throw 3 grenades, then switch to the machine gun. So if you see here, gives him 3 grenade ammo. And then this is the special battle later with the captain, so we can skip that. And then if we're in stage 0, then we, if the grenade ammo is 0, then we choose a random opponent and use machine gun. If the grenade ammo isn't 0, then we choose a random opponent and we use machine gun. And then we set the grenade ammo to be -1. So obviously this was supposed to be grenade. It was supposed to be use grenade on the target. And then -1 grenade ammo. But they totally whiffed it. And so he just uses machine gun either way. Also, once he's less than 75% HP, they'll start shooting the character with the least amount of HP. Another just really like unique little thing that you'd never notice, but when they're about to die, they specifically target enemies with low HP. Which is cool. Like, another really cool little detail, but never really going to make much of a difference, especially given these enemies aren't that hard. Okay, I think... I don't know if we can fight... Can we get fights in here? The spreadsheet here says that you fight death machines in the elevator. But I don't think you can get fights in the elevator. I think we fight them in this corridor here. And then there's specific enemies you can only fight in the next corridor. Let's see the absolute astronomical damage that Cloud's doing right now. Oof. Bork, bork. There he is. The Death Machine. My machine. So, the Death Machine, even though he's just kind of a random enemy in this random corridor and just a step up from the sweeper, actually has a very complicated AI. He has multiple different combos based on HP values. So, like, at 75% HP, he'll do, like, smoke a shot and a machine gun. At 50%, he'll do W machine gun. Like, there's all sorts of different little combos he does based on where his HP is at. He's also the only enemy in the game that uses the 100 needles attack, which does not do 100 damage. He also has W machine gun, similar to the custom sweeper, having the atomic scissors. And oddly, he is not weak to lightning, even though he obviously should be. So just like the custom sweeper enemy, who gives a weapon for Barrett, this guy also gives a weapon for Barrett. So I don't know if that was just a callback to that enemy or what. Let's see if we can get him to use the 100 needles attack. I'm not sure which HP value he uses it at. We'll just give him a chance to use it after each attack. See what he does. Yeah, I have no idea why this guy has 100 needles. There it is. 100 needles. And it does just damage. I don't... I have no idea why he has that attack. I don't know why he has needles. I don't know why it's 100 of them. I don't know why it doesn't do 100 damage. There are many questions I have about that attack. None of which will ever be answered. Okay, now we move on to the next corridor. See what we can fight in here. Alright, this is what we were looking for. So this is the guard system. This is a beefed up version of the guy we fought in the Shinra HQ, which was the warning board. And he has a similar type deal where he summons either the quick machine gun or the rocket launcher. Just like the warning board, he's immune to lightning. The rocket launcher that he summons is actually the same enemy as the one in Sector 4, but it has an added confused missile attack and much better stats. And the quick machine gun is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. There it is. There's the rocket launcher. Yo, Ancient! Thank you for the 50 months, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I thought that maybe the immunity to lightning was a goof with the warning board. But given that this guy is also immune to lightning, I guess it's just... I don't know, I guess they're grounded. I guess because it's like attached to the ground. They figured it's grounded and can't take electric damage. Because of that third prong. That third prong makes him immune. Why pay full price for a new game when that same money can get you a fistful of games that are established greats? Because when the exterminator guy comes to my house and sees my game room, he's always like, yo, bro, are you playing the new Elden Ring? And I gotta be like, actually, I'm playing Glover on the PS1 by choice. And then he never comes back. This is Ghost Ship. Ghost Ship gives you the guidebook, obviously, which you can use for Emerald Weapon. One cool thing that a lot of people don't know, and something that I forgot over the years, is that you can use L4 Suicide to make him much easier to morph. So that's a thing. What else? You can also use White Wind or an elixir to end the fight instantly because he's quote-unquote undead, which is really helpful during the battle arena. It's why I always tell people bring an elixir to the battle arena in case you get this guy on the last fight. His attack, St. Elmo's Fire, is a reference to the real phenomena where glowing blue or purple plasma appears at the tips of pointed objects during thunderstorms. You can look it up. It's very interesting. Very interesting stuff. According to a research article from 2014, it can actually warn of an incoming lightning strike, and sailors would often regard it as a good omen. And believe it or not, this guy actually has concept art. I always figured he was like, oh, we need an enemy that has the guidebook, and we got to come up with a goofy enemy that would be under the sea. Apparently, this is one of the original enemies that Tetsuya had in mind for the game. And it's a pretty sick concept art. I'm not 100% sure what this is. It says back, front, and it looks like a clamp or something. I don't really know what this was supposed to be. It's pointing at like his back. I don't know. Maybe that's how he's like attached. I'm not sure. But yeah, really cool nonetheless. Let's kill this guy and get the guidebook from him. Also, you've probably seen it before because you've probably seen my channel before, but I do have a video from a long time ago where I show off a glitch where if you bring Sephiroth into this fight and he uses the kick move on him, he gets permanently stuck on the screen. It's pretty great. So let's see if we can do it in one shot here. I don't know if Yuffie's strong enough or not. Yeah, putting this guy as the final fight in the battle arena was very mean. Can I show the Sephiroth glitch? Maybe? I'm not sure if Ultima has the ability to add Sephiroth to the party. I don't think it does. Yeah, I'd have to add him with the... save thing. Let's see. I'll just do this so I can save in here. And then we'll do this. I haven't done this in a while, so see how it goes. Change Red 13 to Sephiroth. Give Sephiroth 0 HP. Let's see what happens. We have to kill Sephiroth so he doesn't... His AI to... Ooh. Oh, he just kicked Cloud. Can he kick more than one character? I honestly don't remember. We have to kill Sephiroth so his auto AI doesn't go off. Okay, let's give ourselves... invincibility. And then speed up the fight and see if he kicks anyone. He might only kick one character per fight. Nope. He kicked two, but it was not the right one. Hold up. We gotta kill Sephiroth again. Won't let me. Let's see if I can do it in the fight. There. Oh wait, I'm gonna turn off invincibility. Okay. Oh, he's still attacking. Well, he doesn't do much damage, so I think we're okay. Really? Is something wrong happening here, or am I just really unlucky? I might have to look at the code and see who he targets, if it's random or not. I gotta give him more HP so he doesn't die. Okay, I was about to ask that. Okay, so we can actually fix it here. There, now he should kick Sephiroth. If he doesn't die. Now he's just not going to use it. There we go. Okay, so now he's stuck. Now, when I did this back in the day, he got permanently stuck to the screen. But now he gets stuck to the ore, so I'm not really sure what the difference is, but yeah, there you go. He's now stuck to the ore. Maybe it was... Oh, it's after you kill him, I think. He gets stuck to the screen. Let's see. Alright, watch carefully. There you go. He's stuck. Like, even as the camera pans and stuff, he's stuck on the screen. So good. It's beautiful. All right. He's like a fly on the windshield. It's a weird shadow on my camera. Hold up. Oh, yes, thank you. It's just the back of the monitor. Wow, a mod actually doing his job? Crazy. Crazy scenes. 2026. Off to a banger. What's going to happen next? Alright, we have a couple more, and I also need to turn off invincibility. We got 2 more enemies to fight in here. All right, so this is one of my favorite enemy names in the game, Corvette. I love that name. This guy has a similar thing to the sword dance in the Shinra HQ in that for whatever reason he is weak against the element of confusion. Not the ailment, but the element of confusion. So if you put on added effect Mystify to a weapon, you will do double damage with regular attacks, which is very bizarre. Also, Corvette does not refer to the car. It refers to the small but highly maneuverable warship. You can look it up. Hence, water enemy. But they also look fast, so, you know. It's a great name. Oh my god, a shark. And then we have this guy. The Diver Nest. So, the Diver Nest has a scaling chance to use Big Wave based on missing HP, and he's also not immune to any status effect. You can give this guy any status effect you want in the whole game. I have no idea what the name Diver Nest is. I would love to hear anybody's thoughts on what Diver Nest means. I googled it till the cows came home. The only thing I could find was a fishing tackle storage unit that's called a Diver Nest. I don't think that's what this references. I have no idea. I have no idea what a Diver Nest is. Is probably gonna miss. Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe it eats divers. Maybe it likes local restaurants. I don't know. Something something Flavor Town. I believe the original Japanese name is also somewhere around Diver Nest, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it was a bad translation, but I'm not sure. Oh my god, look at the size of that fuel gauge. Alright, here we have the Senior Grunt, who is a stronger version of the Grunt. So the kanji on the arm of the Senior Grunt, if you can see it there, underneath the hand, is actually different than the Grunt's kanji, which I was surprised to hear. This one is something close to form is emptiness, which is a reference to the Buddhist mantra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. So, not sure why that's specific to this guy, but they specifically gave him different kanji than the other one, which is pretty neat. And all 3 of this guy's attacks are physical. Even the water wave attack is not water elemental. It's just a physical attack. And then we have Gun Carrier. Is the only enemy other than Shinra soldiers to have S-mines. And he also has a routine that ends with an attack on each party member, but instead of creating a new attack, they just repeat normal shell 3 times. So it seems like they were a bit lazy with this enemy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it this way, but it's just kind of odd. Most enemies you would give a single attack and then a full party attack. But instead, this guy does all of his attacks, like this abnormal shell, which gives you darkness and slow. And then at the end of his little routine that he does this normal shell, but he just hits all 3 characters. So there he hit Red 13 again. And then once he gets to the end of his cycle, he'll just do normal shell on each character in 1 move. There it is. So this will just hit each character and do 3 whole separate animations. Rubber duck energy. Then we still have 2 more enemies out here, surprisingly. There's a lot of enemies out here. Thank you, Solid, for the gifted sub to Dash. And Silver, they give you the 80 months, man. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ancient, as well. So this is the Guardian. The Guardian is not immune to Berserk, but does not have a designated Berserk attack. So he does the classic goofy Berserk thing. If I give myself a War Gong, we can show that off. So just like a lot of the other enemies in the game that we talked about, not a lot, but a couple other enemies in the game, they meant to give this guy Berserk resistance, but they did not. So he can be Berserked, but he has no attack that he uses in Berserk. So he tries to use an unnamed attack that costs 65,000 MP, which he cannot do. So it just says this for the rest of the fight. So if you want a free win, give him Berserk. Yeah, I find it funny that Berserk in this game is pretty useless, except for the times that it breaks the AI, which obviously was not their intention. But because there's a couple enemies that it breaks their AI, it actually is somewhat useful. If it weren't for that, it would be completely useless, pretty much. There's a few enemies in the game that have annoying attacks, so you can then Berserk them and they won't use their annoying attack, but enemies in this game do not have enough HP for that to be worth it. Just kill the enemy that's doing the attack, you know? There's no need to try to, like, Berserk them. And there are some fights that are like Berserk traps, like the Grand Galan, where if you Berserk them, they actually use stronger attacks. So yeah, I don't really know what they were doing with Berserk. It's much better just to use it on yourself if you're trying to do some crazy attack thing. And speaking of attack things, this is Hard Attacker. Great name. Hard Attacker has really weird elemental resistances and weaknesses. He is not weak to lightning, even though it looks like he should be. Is resistant to fire, which makes sense that because he uses a fire attack, but he's also resistant to water for some reason. And his oil attack counts as a physical attack, even though it definitely does not look like one. Can Vincent be Berserk during his transformations? I think so. I think so. I'm not actually 100% sure if that even makes him stop using his magic attack, but that'd be an interesting thing to experiment with. A lot of Vincent's magic attacks when he's in his forms are actually better. The only time you would want to remove them is if they're like healing the enemy. But like I said before, Vincent is really a magic caster, so his magic moves are much better. Unless you've built him to be an attacker. You actually kind of want him to use his magic attacks in transformation. According to Alundra, Vincent gains immunity to Berserk, Frog, and Confusion when transformed. That makes sense. Okay, let's see. I think we should have time to do carry armor. And these guys here. Let me go to the bathroom real quick before we do that. And then we'll do carry armor, and we'll do the submarine stuff, and then we'll leave the Sunken Gelnika for next week. Thank you guys again for being here and for all the support. I really super duper appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. I'll be back in just a second. All right. How's it going, Darth? Shut up! I had to go to the bathroom. Leave me alone. All right. We have two... Actually, no, just one enemy. I think, here. Because this guy is a... These guys are regular submarine crews. You are not getting this huge materia. Cloud doing some damage finally with his regular attacks. Alright, so this is a pretty interesting enemy here. Not exactly sure why this enemy exists, but here he is. This is the Underwater MP. So first of all, the Underwater MP is the first chance to steal the Shinra Alpha equipment. As we mentioned a long time before, at the very beginning of the game, the Underwater MP adopted the model from the removed Grenadier enemy from the original 1996 demo of the game. So in the original 1996 demo, the Grenadier enemies all looked like this. Then they changed it to the blue guys, and these guys took this model instead. And we showed that really cool little shout out in the remake where they gave the Grenadier enemy the same coloration as the Or they gave it the same name. They brought the name back from the demo, which was such a cool reference that I totally didn't get the first time I played the remake. These guys only appear in the event fight just before carry armor, and for some reason they have less HP than a standard submarine crew. And they're a really annoying enemy because they can use machine gun 3 times every other turn. Or they do use machine gun 3 times every other turn. So, very annoying version of the Shinra Guard enemy. They have less HP. They have a weird model. I don't really know why they're here. I feel like they are just a reference to the demo or something for those that played the demo. Maybe. I don't know. But I always found these guys very strange. If nothing else, they should just have like the same HP or more HP to make them kind of an extra guard, extra strong guard or something right before carry armor, but I don't know. Very, very odd enemy. Yeah, MP stands for military police. Which I talked about at the beginning of the game, I think was kind of a way of just hinting at the player that Shinra also has control of the military without coming out and saying it, which is pretty cool. I think I'll go ahead and trank just on the off chance that he double lapis lasers. Because he could. He's that kind of guy. So, number one question for carry armor. Why does Shinra Cranes also have laser beams? Do they just put weapons on everything at Shinra? Okay. So, carry armor is, of course, the biggest killer of challenge and speed runs, due to a couple different factors, the biggest one being that he has a 1/3 chance to start the fight with an automatic lapis laser before his turn begins. Meaning that, theoretically, you could potentially get double lapis lasered before you get a turn. It could start with a lapis laser, and then his ATB bar could start more full than yours, meaning that he gets a turn before you, and he could use another lapis laser. So, there have been speed runs before, and challenge runs before, where this fight began, and he immediately used 2 lapis lasers, and you die, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's the first main issue. The second main issue is that lapis laser is non-elemental, meaning that only the spirit stat, M barrier, and sadness can mitigate its damage. There's no other way to mitigate the damage, and it already does an insane amount of damage. So if you're doing some kind of challenge run that stops you from having M barrier, or stops you from using sadness, you're pretty much cooked. And if you're playing on the original version, that also means that your equipment spirit stat doesn't work, so it can be a problem. Lapis Laser only takes 10 MP, and Carry Armor has 200 MP, meaning that he can use it 20 overall times. On top of all that, he can grab party members, and you cannot save them unless you kill the arm, which actually just ends up damaging and killing the party member. There's no, like, when I was a kid, I always thought there was some kind of gimmick to save your party members when they get grabbed, but there really isn't. Unless the arm is already really low HP when it grabs you, you just are kind of screwed. Like, there's no good way to get your character back. Either you let him sit there and be grabbed, or you try to take out the arm and end up killing him in the process. So it's a really just evil gimmick. Not to mention he can grab 2 party members, leaving you with only 1. Due to a very strange quirk in the code, attacking the arms once but keeping their HP above 75% will cause their grab chance to lower from 1/16 to 1 in 128, which is why for challenge runs, I always keep the Dragon Fang from the Schizo fight, and I always throw it at the start of this fight. You've probably seen me many times use the Dragon Fang in this fight. The reason I do it is because it does just enough damage so that the arms stay at the 1 in 128 chance to grab your characters. So it's a really great item to use in this fight if you can keep it all the way from the Schizo fight. There's plenty of other moves you can do, though, that will have the same effect, but I always use the Dragon Fang. The best way to deal with carry armor is to use Magic Hammer, which drains his MP, meaning that he can't use Lapis Laser. And then if you end up killing his arms as well, he has no way to attack, which I'll show off. If a party member happens to hit lucky 7s and get arm grabbed at the same exact time, they will hit carry armor even though they are grabbed once, then continue hitting them until they're freed. It's a very odd interaction. I don't know if I could show that, but you can find a video online of it happening. Actually, I think maybe I could. We could try it. If Giant Kate Sith is triggered while party members are grabbed, the party members will still form into Kate Sith, but Kate Sith will take damage every time he attacks. So it'll be like he's grabbed even though he's not grabbed. If he grabs somebody, I'll quickly set their HP to 7s and see if we can get the lucky 7s thing to happen. I should damage the arms though, because right now they have no chance of grabbing. And maybe I'll go ahead and use Magic Hammer as well. I do have Magic Hammer, right? Yeah. If a character dies when grabbed, they just go back to where they were, so you can just revive them normally. Come on, do an arm grab. The one time I want you to grab, you're not gonna grab. There we go. Okay. Who's he grabbing? Cloud? So let's set Cloud's HP to 7s. See what happens. It shows 1417, but it's 7s. Okay, so watch Cloud here. So he did one 7s attack, and now he's like glitched off on the side of the arms. And we should be able to still free him, but now he's out of 7s because he took damage from hitting himself. He basically went into lucky 7s, but then because of his attack, he took damage, and then he left lucky 7s. Also, I think I probably have to reset, because I'm not sure what Cloud's regular HP is supposed to be. We can just redo the fight real quick. Be easier that way. Oh, if you wanted to see 2 people getting grabbed, here you go. Looks extra weird because of the 7s thing. Also, because I took his MP, now he can't do anything. He's stuck. I could just win the fight here by attacking with Yuffie. Although I guess eventually they'll die. Okay. Let's redo the fight. I'll have to fight these guys again. Let's speed it up a little bit. I'm not tranking, so hopefully he doesn't double Lapis. Don't you do it. Okay. I don't think Landscaper hits the arms. Pretty sure it doesn't. Oh, it does, huh? Kind of sad we won't be getting Zero Bahamut. Well, I guess we can if we dig him up. Oh, we could do the RNG manip again. I want to show off the RNG manip for Zero Bahamut again because it's really cool. Remind me to do that. We've only showed it off once because we did it for the absolute lowest level challenge. I'd love a chance to show it again. Okay, so now that I took away his MP and his arms, it's a free fight. He can't do anything. He has no regular attack with his body. But, you know, a lot of challenge runs don't allow enemy skill. Enemy skill is one of the first things you remove when doing challenge runs because it's so busted, so a lot of times you don't have this option. And in the speed run, you don't have time to go grab Magic Hammer either, so... There we go. And we have one more enemy to talk about in the submarine. Forgot to grab the chest. Or no. Never mind. Yo, thank you, Seraphic. So these are all... How did Cloud miss that? Oh, because he has Fury. These are all just regular submarine crews, but there is a pretty interesting submarine crew fight here. I've talked about this many times before, but this fight right here, once you're done with this fight, it automatically throws you into the next fight. And the next fight is surprisingly tough in certain challenges because it's a pincer fight and these guys only do physical attacks. So they end up actually dealing a lot of damage. And in certain challenge runs where you don't have access to being able to kill them quickly, it can become a problem, or like access to healing. Also, you have to win this fight before you can save after carry armor, so if carry armor is a super tough fight, you still got to get through this before you can save. This fight's also weird because it turns off the music. It goes back to the regular fight music. But you can see how much damage these guys do. I mean, they'll group up on you if you're not careful. And we're a pretty normal party. Lower level parties, they can deal like 1,000 damage with their attack. I made it. Oops. Should we do the red sub? Since we're not getting the huge materia anyways, we could do red sub this run. No regrets. Alright, so this is the captain. He is a special enemy. And as I mentioned before, all of the submarine crew, like all the guys that we fought up to this point, have code for this fight. It's just, it doesn't activate because the captain isn't here. But if the captain is here, then the submarine crew will do this, the little talking. So the captain only has 2 appearances, and both of them are optional. You can pick to not fight the first one, which was this one, and then the second one only appears if you fail the sub game. Only the one in the sub says, ugh, they got me when he dies. His hand grenade, he has a hand grenade, but he never uses it unless you manipulate him. So normally he just shoots, but you can manipulate him into throwing a grenade. So yeah, all of the submarine crew have the code to give the dialogue. They just never use it because there's no captain in the fight. The special pose. There you go. There's his grenade. And yeah, the fact that he says the special pose means that this is probably the same captain that you duped in the Junon section. Which is kind of sad that we just brutally murder him, but, you know, RPGs. So let's fail the submarine minigame so that we can get the red submarine, and also we can see the second captain fight. Yeah. Somehow they recognize you. Well, I don't know. It's either they recognize you or they're just saying it because they're, like, excited about it still. I think they're just still excited about it. Cloud truly changed their lives and then killed them. This game is genuinely hard to fail. I want you to know that. Killing somebody will change their life. True. You're not wrong. Alright, for those of you that have not seen this scene before, enjoy. Greatest scene in the game. We're breaking out of here. I can't swim. Why is Yuffie so bright? We're gonna hop on a torpedo and blast out of here. Don't worry, I won't miss. We don't even have a target. We're just aiming at the sky. Sure. Makes sense to me. Old man. Ugh, it's salty. Let's go to the airport. Junon. I'd love to get my hands on a submarine right now. Yeah! The submarine dock underneath Junon. I can steal a sub easy enough, but I can't pilot it. Let's go. It feels like somebody else entirely wrote that entire scene. Somebody like wrote the general idea of the scene and then it just somehow got in the game. So bizarre. Or like the translating team missed that scene or something and then at the last moment they had to, someone else had to translate it. Like, I have no idea what happened. Also, the old man giving Cloud CPR better be in the remake or I'm not buying it. Just saying. Just saying. It is a very important scene that must be in the remake. Or it's not real. Not my remake. Oh, you got more than 100 needles. Also, the image of the remake crew blasting off in a torpedo sounds amazing. You were about to raid me and then your PC blue screened. Yeah, that sounds about right. It was trying to warn you, I think. We're gonna raid Death Unites Us. Computer didn't like that. The red submarine. So this is the only other captain fight. Both of which you can choose not to fight. Let me show you how it's done. And actually, come to think of it, wouldn't these guys also say the same thing? It's still submarine crew, it's still the same code. Wouldn't this guy also say the special pose? I don't think there's code for, like, the first and second captain fight. Yeah. That's pretty interesting. I guess they somehow survived the previous submarine going down. I didn't read the text to see if it's says anything like that. Yeah, red submarine. The best submarine. Alright. That'll be good for today. We're going to move on to the Final Fantasy X Masters Challenge. But before that, let's say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, thank you so much for watching the Final Fantasy VII Enemy Trivia Challenge. This has been such an awesome journey. We are kind of reaching the end. We still have a lot to talk about, though, surprisingly. Even though it feels like we're close to the end of the game, we still have all of the Sunken Galnica enemies. We still have all the Midgar Raid enemies. We still have some optional stuff like the Battle Arena and the Ancient Forest. And then the Northern Cave also has a lot of enemies. So, don't know if we'll get through all of that next week. Of course, we also have, like, weapons and stuff, too, so still a lot of stuff ahead, but we're through most of the thick of it. And a lot of the really cool rare enemies I wanted to talk about we've seen now. At this point, I think the most exciting stuff to talk about is going to be bosses. I have a lot of really cool notes for stuff like Ultimate Weapon and Hojo and stuff. And the Turks, we still have the final Turk fight, which has some really cool stuff, so still some cool stuff ahead of us. But thank you again for supporting this series. Everyone that supported it through the Touch Me F mugs or coming over to Twitch or the super comments on YouTube. It has been so incredibly appreciated. And that's it. We'll see you in the next episodes of the Enemy Trivia Challenge. Peace.